I'm sorry you went through that. I wish I could turn that connection off so my moods wouldn't affect you like that. I look down at my feet. I know we need to talk. I guess now is as good a time as any. I didn't mean to hurt you. I don't. If you could shut it down, I never would have found you. You wouldn't be here at all. What are you talking about? My heart rate is starting to pick up. Who do you think got to you first in that locker room? We are connected for some reason. I think part of it is so I can find you when you are suffering all alone. How did you know? I felt off when we were getting ready for the ball, but I brushed it off. Then I got a massive headache, the only kind I get with you. I tried to mind link you and couldn't. You were blocked from me. I linked Dad. I didn't want to say anything to the guys until I knew for sure you weren't still training or doing something equally stupid with him or Kyle. I got a small smile then. Then his eyes go dark and glossed over. Then my mouth started to bleed, like I took a sucker punch from Coda and my whole chest seized. My wolf took over. I shifted and he jumped out the window of Cam's room. You were so broken. He takes a deep breath in and a tear falls from his eyes. But I can't move. I'm frozen in place. I don't think there was a part of you that wasn't damaged. He takes another deep breath in and squats down, pressing the heels of his hands to his eyes. You told me to let you die. He sobs and sags to his knees. I couldn't hold back anymore and I walked over to him. Even on his knees, his head comes to my ribcage. He wraps his arms around my waist and buries his face in my stomach. We are both crying now. He found me. He always finds me. I'm sorry. Then you were gone. They ripped you from my arms. No information, no word of how you were, what happened, who was involved. We were just told you were alive, and that's all we needed to know. He takes a deep breath in and lets it out slowly. Then continues talking into my shirt. The only thing we got was that one-page letter. You said you were healthy and training and that was it. That's all I had. I was alive. I became a science experiment for Sierra's parents, a freak show for the other warriors. You know the usual for me. He huffs a laugh, but doesn't let go or look at me. I'm sorry, Biddy. I'm sorry it took you leaving for us to understand. My dad and Delta Kyle sat us down after we got back from that summer training and told us what was going on, or what they knew. I wish you trusted us enough to tell us, but I know we hadn't earned that right. Still haven't if I'm being honest. So many things are F-cup and we need you. I'm glad you're stuck here right now. You can't run away, even if you wanted to. He's crying. This massive, tattooed guy who is scared of nothing is crying into my shirt. My broody, moody gammas never shown this much emotion in living memory. But with just the two of us, he's breaking down and holding me tight, like I might disappear if he lets go. This is our thing. This raw emotion, this connection will stay in this room for only the two of us to bear. I let all my calming thoughts flow to him, like he does for me. Why have you been so angry with me if you missed me this much? I run my fingers through his rich, dark hair. You never looked this happy and healthy here. Even dead on your feet from lack of sleep, and covered in everything that you could possibly be covered in from fighting in the forest. I could see the glow in your skin and in your eyes. You have put on weight. You have so much more muscle now. Being away has been good for you. That's what made me angry. It was better for you to be away. You are better off without us. He takes another deep breath in and lets it out. That is not what I expected to hear at all. It's not that it was better or worse for me anywhere. I had to get away for a little while. I just needed a break from the drama and to experience life and things outside the pack. To see what I was capable of on my own in a place that was unfamiliar without the safety net of you guys around. I wish it didn't happen the way it did, but I can't say I regret it. I was always going to come home. That has always been the plan. It's still the plan, even if I have to leave again. What happens when you become an elite warrior trainer and they keep you until you find your mate? His hoarse voice is barely above a whisper. Is that really what you think will happen? Who knows? He shrugs, still maintaining a tight grip. You still have a lot of time. You make so many things happen in such short amounts of time. Who the hell knows what you'll do in under 2 years? Well, for now, I am here and the pack is in danger. I'm not leaving again until I know everyone is safe, and even then, I know I can't stay away from you guys like that again. It hurts too much, and I don't sleep well. We'll figure something out if the Alpha King needs me. I think we have all grown a lot since I have been away. Now I really need to work out, and then I need to figure out what Elena wants me to do. He lets me go slowly, scrubbing his face as he stands up. So who's Elena and what is she teaching you? He goes into business mode right away. The mushy conversation is over. Elena is a witch. She is actually in Gentry's coven. Gentry is Nicholas' mate. Long story. But turns out that I have more abilities due to my connection with Alpha Reggie, and she and I are training in the basics of magic. You're gonna have to give me more than that, Biddy. Magic? I'm sure that Alpha Lucas told you I'm Alpha King Reggie's relation. I forget the actual lineage, but he calls me his niece. And the firstborn females in the Alpha King's bloodline traditionally have an extra ability, like the power to be immune to things, manipulate emotions, heal others, use magic, things like that. Apparently there was a prophecy a long time ago about one of the females having more than one ability. Alpha Reggie thinks that my sense of smell is one of mine, but also my ability to withstand silver, even when it's injected into me. Who the F keck tested that on you? That's not something you just try out to see if you have the ability, Biddy. He blurts. His whole body is shaking with rage. I grab both of his massive forearms with my tiny hands. It wasn't voluntary. That's what happened that night in the locker room. It's why you couldn't link me. I was injected with wolfsbane and silver and possibly some other poisons. Doc Gannon and Doc Sylvia took a ton of samples and are studying it. But what I was given should have killed me within minutes, from what I understand. You need to tell me who did this to you. Is it the same person that gave you the silver scars on your back? Yes, it was the same person, and no, I won't tell you. You wouldn't be able to deal with it in a diplomatic way. Who gives a tea about diplomacy when you were tortured? I do when it is a pack member who has been getting away with things pretty much forever. I won't condone it, but at the same time, no one has ever made it clear the behavior is unacceptable. The pack leaders are responsible for that. Yes, things need to change, but current things need to be fixed. Past stuff has already happened and cannot be taken back. Keep working with the pups. Teach them to stand up for themselves. Teach them to be decent pack members, not to hurt people in order to get what they want. But we need to get back to the magic. I have some control over elements, and I need to work on that like I work with weights. Magic is like a muscle, but it still takes a lot of energy for me to sustain, so I need someone with me just in case I overdo it by accident. So let's get to work here. A quick full body thing. And then, where do we need to do your magic? Is there like a special room or what? I move over and start setting up weights, while I explain about being outside and what I have to focus on for the flow of magic to happen. I also have to read whatever instructions Elena gave me too. We don't talk much. We have never really had to when we work out. I love the silence and the ability to lose myself in my thoughts. But at the same time, I'm not alone. His large protective presence also makes me feel safe and loved. When we are done and clean up the mess of weights everywhere, we head toward the kitchen to check in with Lenny for our lunch. I am so sorry that I have been so distracted this morning. Some demands are more involved than others. Lenny, it is okay. We are more than capable of making our own lunch. I just didn't want to be in your way. There are so many extra people in the pack house right now. I know that prep takes time. She hands me a basket, and it's heavy. What's in here? We just needed lunch. I laugh. Well, your breakfast was on the small side, and I know you just worked out and you are planning some more training. I want to make sure you maintain that figure, little miss. You are finally healthy, and I want to keep it that way. She winks at me, and I giggle again as Oliver takes it out of my hands and leads me out the back door. So what are we doing? What can I expect from this magic thing, Biddy? Oliver asks as we head back to where my semi-hidden hammock is. Really, I can't do much with magic, but I'm focusing on how to sense it and have been able to start manipulating elements a little with it. Magic is really hard. Do you remember learning to shift for the first time? He nods at me. It's kind of like that when I use magic. Somewhere in me I have the capacity for it. But because it isn't my first nature, the learning is slow and draining. With the rogues using magic, sensing it is my main focus, and Elena agrees. If we can avoid things and people that are being manipulated and controlled by magic, we can keep more pack members safe. What happened to Gina's pack and Tyler's pack is unacceptable, and I believe magic is going to be the rogue king's weakness. How so? The rogues are lazy and weak when it comes to real fighting. They are too reliant on magic to take control with no real effort. That's how Gina and I were able to get away after Gentry kept the wolfsbane and other poisons out of our food. We had to fight a little, but not as much as I would have thought once they discovered us gone. I was also able to kill Janice without a lot of effort too, when she tried to take me on one-on-one. I didn't think about it at the time, but I don't sleep well, so I've had time on my hands. What do you mean you don't sleep well? You slept fine last night? I have always slept better with you guys around. I smile at him. I'm pretty sure it's the only time I actually hit a deep sleep, really. You guys are just my people. You're safe home. He pulls me into a hug, and I can hear his wolf purr softly in his chest. That was the ego boost we needed. Now he isn't going to shut up the rest of the day. Oliver laughs. So what do I need to do? I walk him through what it looks like for me to work with the elements and some of the history that Elena has been teaching me. He's as big of a geek as I am, so I know he appreciates the in-depth information. The rest of the guys would have stayed and pretended to pay attention while spacing out. Cam would have lasted the longest, while Sam would have made it 2 minutes before offering to get snacks and drinks. I also explained that he needs to watch me for signs of distress. Because the concentration is so deep, I can't always pull myself out of it, and I can actually get hurt while I'm in a trance. We finally unwrap and open the ancient grimoire. I know that this thing has been around for generations, but the thought of it being here outside the safety of the royal pack makes me a little nervous and excited all at the same time. It is clearly important if she broke her own rule to bring it to me. There is an envelope tucked in between pages. I open straight to it and see why immediately. I open the thick envelope and unfold the heavy, hand-pressed paper. I can feel the hum through my fingers just touching it. I know there is magic, even here. I begin to read. Skylar, I wish I could be with you, but my coven needs me more right now. Your rogues are terrorizing my kind, and we must help put an end to the injustice. Our leaders can no longer avoid it or pretend it is not happening. We are going to bring our brothers and sisters home. You must continue your training. I believe you are vital to our cause. Read the grimoire from front to back and stop where the magic calls you. Your wolf can guide you as well since she is of the same magic. Make sure you are safe when practicing. Knowing who to trust is becoming a dangerous game. I have marked 3 pages for you to follow before and after you practice casting. This will keep you and your watcher safe as well as suppress your strong aura. The first will help you veil your practice area and bar anyone outside your space from entering until you drop the veil. This may affect your ability to mind link when you first begin to cast. As you get better at the skill, It will be less broad, and you can manipulate it to your will. The second will help you ground and become in tune with the elements around you before you cast. This meditation is what we did together, but will take some energy from you as you align with the earth to cast. The third is instructions to infuse magic into elements that can be worn for protection. Make one protection piece per day and no more. The magic is powerful and contained, but you and your team will need the added protection. The elements can be placed in everyday wearable items. I suggest infusing at night before you sleep, so you can rest and recover overnight, and no one will be suspicious of your lack of energy. Check in with Nicholas and he will get messages to me if you need anything. Good luck, my girl. Okay, well, I have my work cut out for me then. What do you think I should start with first? I look back at Oliver, who is rubbing his forehead. What's wrong? Every time I tried to read over your shoulder, I got a splitting headache. Is that a normal thing when you get a letter from a witch? No. I could read it just fine. I can feel magic on it though, so maybe she made it so only I can read it. I'm curious though. Can you read anything in the book? I know it has all kinds of magic cast over it, but does it have some kind of repelling spell too? He starts to slowly flip the pages. That one is fuzzy, but it doesn't hurt my brain like the letter did. He points to one that has the Coven's lineage. A-H. He turns a page and quickly flips it again. What? That one actually burned? It burned my fingers and my eyes. What the hell is on that one? It is Coven locations. Clearly, that is a bigger secret than the people in the Covens. I turn to the page marked with the spell to protect my practice area. Can you read this? You are my bodyguard for this whole thing. Yeah. I can. Is it weird that someone went through and put individual spells on pages and pieces of information? Not really, and it wasn't just one person. This is a collection from many witches, so I'm sure each entry was protected by the witch who wrote it. I shrug, admiring the effort that this book took to make. Let's just practice the protection spell and see how that goes. I've never done it on my own, but I've seen Elena do it. And Gentry did one when we got our warrior brands. I just didn't know it at the time. We spend the rest of the afternoon setting and unsetting the protection circle around us. We let our friends know so we could practice mind linking them too. Okay, I didn't do anything and I am exhausted. You really did this every day, Biddy? Oliver and I were sitting out at the patio table with the rest of the guys, Gina and Lil, eating dinner and going over what we did for the day. Yeah, I don't do it alone though. Not that you weren't helpful. I backtrack quickly. I just don't normally do the magic part on my own. It's a lot. What about you guys? How was Sky training? I smile at Gina and Lil. Was Dwight as lippy this morning as he was yesterday? Not after his smug ass was paired with me for the patrol run, and then Alpha Jen for the first hour of training. You have got to quit calling me that, Gina complains. And yes, that pansy will think long and hard before he says something smartass to a team lead again. Technically, you are an alpha, the alpha of your pack, in fact. Why should we not use your title? Mateo is just stirring the pot. I still call Alpha Lucas. Alpha and I will call the twins Alpha when it's their time. He shrugs like that is the most natural thing. But, like this, sitting here at dinner with no other pack members around, you will still refer to them by their title? I know you don't. You have been friends your whole lives. You use their names in casual settings. She is sitting next to me, so when he leans in to whisper in her ear, I can hear everything. There is nothing casual about you. He growls at her, and I can feel my own face flush, and she gasps low. I have never seen my brother like this with any girl. He would flirt a little, but he seems to actually be trying here. He's never given attention to one girl over another. I wonder if he is practicing for his mate. They will be 18 in the spring. Maybe his wolf can sense a connection with her even though we have our warrior brands. Stop. She pushes him away, and Lil and I share a smile. When we are all done and heading upstairs, I grab the girls and bring them with me. We have each been attached to at least one of the guys since we got here, and I want a little time alone with my friends. No one questions it until I shut the guys out of my room and we laugh at their whining protests. At least dinner wasn't interrupted by the banshee and her dad. Jaina says, "It's really hard to have a conversation with them around. They seem like the kind of people who take words and twist them, or they like to spread gossip. I don't know how your alpha deals with it or why. It doesn't make sense for him to just let them roam around the way that they do. And he seems like a pretty strong and authoritative alpha most of the time. No offense to your alpha, they just seem to have some underlying control that they shouldn't." None taken. I always thought the same thing, but being so far removed from everyone for so long, I didn't know that what they were doing and how they were behaving was wrong. Even when I was getting beat up on a regular basis, it never occurred to me that maybe someone should have stopped it. "So it was her that caused you all the trouble," Lil says, pointing to me. "The guys asked us today about it and said you would never tell them who was beating you up." I never said it was her. I try to sound convincing as I flop onto my bed. "You didn't have to, but now you need to explain what the hell is going on. Why does she think she is going to be Luna? Why would anyone allow one person to cause so much trouble unchecked?" Jaina asks, sitting next to me. I sigh. I don't really know the origin. Luna Ava mentioned that Kaylee's parents have been trying to convince her and the alpha since she was born to make her the twins' chosen mate. I know that Kevin didn't take too well to being looked over for the Delta position, even though Delta Kyle is older and the position should be his for that, and so many other reasons. She has never really liked me, and I have no idea why, other than no one liked me because of my dad's feelings about my birth. "That's harsh," Lil says. "What's with your dad anyway? You always said he doesn't like you, but you kind of avoid actually explaining." "There isn't much to explain. I'm the spare beta, and a female, so that's usually enough for most people. Everyone in this pack knows that my mom died giving birth to me. I am the reason he lost his mate and the reason he suffers every day." I rub my hands over my face. I know more now that I've been training with the Alpha King. I guess the women in my family have a hard time giving birth to the next female because of the extra abilities our bloodline gives. They actually need to have special potions and a witch to help them get through labor. I mean, they had to have something bad going for them, right? I can't help but laugh. I don't wish for things to be easier, but would it be too much to ask that things aren't always the hard way too? "So, you're telling me that when you get around to having kids, it's going to be this big production if or when you have a girl?" Lil asks. "Something like that. But I'd really like to be in my 20s before I even have to think about that. I feel like the more I know about mates and all of that stuff, I feel like the moon goddess should give us some more time without mates. You want more time to fool around with other boys before you finally settle down with your mate?" Gina asks and winks at me, and of course I blush and shoot up. "No. I just wish we got more time to be adults and do things that didn't involve settling down and having kids right after finally being considered an adult." I stick my tongue out to her. I think she's right. "You want to play the field?" Lil cackles and almost falls off my bed, which makes us all erupt in laughter. "But really, your pack is kind of weird when it comes to Kaylee and her dad." It's not just here. I noticed out on the run too. People talk about them, but indirectly. No one likes them, and they don't seem to be of use to anyone in the pack, and yet they instill some kind of morbid fear. What is really going on? Honestly, I don't know about Kevin. He's been a part of the school forever. But Kaylee uses fear to stay in control of the kids at school. It started as small threats and mean girl comments, but people got used to it, and she had to up her game. I caught her physically beating a little girl and I stepped in. That's when she started targeting me. She broke the leg of one of the warrior's daughters, with 3 of her minions and recorded it when I wouldn't give her the answers to a test. The message that came with the video was choose better next time. When I went to my dad, the video was gone and couldn't be found, and I got in trouble for causing problems. But the little girl was harmed and nothing happened to Kaylee. She didn't say anything. She was afraid. I'm sure they told her she would be hurt more if she did. That's how things always happen. We have cameras all over the school, and yet every time I was pulled into a closet and smacked around, or the day I was taken and whipped then dragged out to the forest, no evidence could be found, and therefore I must be lying to get attention, according to her dad, since of course I envy her intelligence and beauty. AHHH. This time, Lil did roll off the bed laughing. She pops up like a gopher from the far side. You have got to be kidding me. That makeup caked up diva wannabe? No one wants to be her. That's the dumbest thing I think I have ever heard. They are delusional. We need to get into the school and I need access to the computers. She can't cause this many problems and not make some kind of mistake. You are the smartest person I know. There is no way she is outwitting you. You just happen to take her threat seriously, and she is crazy enough to follow through on the violence. But there is something we are missing. You are a beta, beat her ass at her own game, and then beat her ass for real. I have been here 2 days, and I want to punch her teeth in. Gina growls. I agree. We are stuck here, and we train just fine on our own. We don't need to follow your puppies around every day. How do we get in? What's a good reason for us to be at school since none of us need to be in the building? We need a reason to snoop around and get into every nook and cranny of that school at all times of the day and night. Lil settles herself next to Gina, like she needs to show they are both in this for real. They are not my puppies, and I'm down with filling our time. I have to have some time between sessions of magic work. It's exhausting. I didn't realize how much Elena was helping me. You say they aren't your puppies, but you knew exactly who I was talking about. Lil raises an eyebrow at me. Who else would you be talking about? I don't have a large group of friends. And besides, I think one of the puppies has imprinted on Gina. I smile at her. Mateo has not imprinted on me. You are delusional. We annoy each other. She rolls her eyes, and Lil snaps her head to the side. But you knew exactly who she was talking about. Lil's she-tea-eating grin says everything, and we all start laughing. I can admit that he is good-looking. They all are. I mean, I'm surprised you were able to leave, Midge. But he has a huge hero complex, and I don't need a knight in shining armor. She shrugs. The chivalry can be a little overbearing and condescending. Okay, I don't disagree. They are overprotective at the best of times, though. So I guess it's just something I got used to. I usually just tell them off and then go destroy a punching bag, or fight all of them in a round robin. And I also agree that we could be doing something specific with our time. I guess the school is the best place to start. The other thing is the severed fingers that were left, with no scent or anything, similar to Tyler's eyes. It was a message then. I just don't know if I was the intended target then, or if it was Luna Ava or Luna Queen Anne, since she was here too. Why does it seem like your pack goes through so much more than the average pack? Lil asks. I always thought it was because we are surrounded by water and a perceived easy target, or that Alpha Lucas is really close friends with Alpha Reggie. So we are targeted like family would be. I shrug. I mean, we haven't been attacked the same way Gina's or Tyler's packs were, so I can't say it's unique or unusual. But I don't remember having this much drama with pack members. Maybe they tried to keep it quiet too? Lil supplies. What do you mean? Gina and I ask at the same time. Well, think of it this way. You don't want the whole pack thinking that the alpha doesn't have control. So instead of addressing every single little infraction, certain things are allowed to slide, and only major life-changing issues are handled when they can't be avoided. So you're saying that Skylar being whipped and having silver powder sprinkled on for good measure isn't a big enough reason to discipline? Gina sounds offended. I think that anyone who causes problems should be made an example. But that is why I am a warrior and not a pack leader. If there was no proof other than Midge's injuries, who's to say that Midge didn't do it to herself and try to blame Kaylee? Don't look at me like that. It's a known fact that they don't like each other. I think Kaylee and her dad are a waste of space, but they have a great system. Think about it. If you want to beat your enemy, you have to think like them. It's what we are trained to do. And as Midge's enemy, Kaylee planted so much doubt against her, over literal years, that no one would believe her. So without concrete proof, no one is going to go near the Cunninghams. It's your non-credible avoid everybody word against their very involved in the community word. It's what I would do, 'cause doubt and chaos from the inside and watch it implode on its own. No effort, really. She shrugs again, and I have to fight to pull my jaw off the floor. I never thought of it like that before. All the times I went to my dad and he never believed me. Even Alpha Lucas and Luna Ava, everyone is always willing to help in the moment. But no one ever actually listened to me until they found out how good of a warrior I am, and things didn't add up. But by then, it was too late. We have to figure this Kaylee thing out. She is a train wreck and would be terrible for the pack, or any pack for that matter. I'm not so much worried about getting justice for the things she's done to me, but I do want to stop whatever her and her dad are up to. So, to school we go. What's the story we are going to tell? Lil jumps up. And do I really have to take classes? 'Cause I didn't exactly love it the first time around? She giggles. We spent the rest of the night coming up with a plan to get into the school and what we are going to do when we get there. I always just dealt with the ST thrown at me and never really thought to fight back off the training field. I didn't want to make waves and cause problems for others. It feels good to work towards making things better. We stayed up way too long coming up with our plans for getting into the school. Then, I just kept them up here to sleep. I have so much room, there really is no reason for them to have rooms downstairs. I know it's because of Kaylee, because she tries to push her way into places she doesn't belong. Luna Ava is just trying to keep the drama down in her home. But I can't believe that we have to sneak around our home just to avoid her. We have to figure out how to get her out of here. I mentioned that to the girls too, as our next project. Getting up was less off-putting than yesterday. Gina slept really well, but she always does when she's close to me. We all take it in turn to use my shower and get ready for training in our usual gear. At least Luna Ave has caught on to the fact that none of us really like the bright girly colors. It really doesn't make sense with how hard we train. I laugh as I tie my hair up. What's up with you? Gina asks. What's so funny this early? You'll see. I wink at them both and walk towards the door and hesitate for a beat, before opening it, and just smile at Coda with his hand raised to knock. We don't want to be late. I look from the guys to my team again and smile. Show off. I hear someone mumble behind me, and I laugh again and head towards the stairs. None of us are super talkative as we head down the short flight. But as soon as I open the door to the second floor, I'm accosted in arms and then tossed back. What the hell? Where are my boys? Why are you leading them down the stairs? They always lead. Your alphas should always be first in line. Kaylee is screeching at me. What are you talking about? It is too early for your brand of crazy. I can't help the curdled feeling in my stomach at her mention of my boys. That has been my name for them. She can't use it. I stuff the feeling as I rub my arm where one of her fake nails caught me. It didn't do any real damage, and it's already healed. But the sensation is still lingering. You good Smalls? Coda comes up behind me and places a hand on my shoulder. Yeah. Can someone translate? I can't speak crazy this early. What is she talking about? You should not precede your alphas into a room. It's not proper. They should always be first with their Luna. Translation: she wanted to jump them while they were too tired to fight her off, and you see cock-blocked her. Lil stage whispers in my ear, and I smile again as Kaylee scoffs. I will not give her any more time, and I'm not even acknowledging the Luna comment. I'm sure she is still referring to herself when she says "shist" like that. Kaylee, we came down from our bedrooms. This isn't a grand entrance. It's the second-floor landing. Dial the drama down. We need to go eat so we can get to training so we aren't late for school. I turn and keep walking, the rest of my friends in tow. She doesn't come down with us, and we don't see her at training, which should make me very suspicious. But I just don't care anymore. We have a great time with the high schoolers at training. They have all really come a long way, and the training is so well attended now. I wish it had more to do with kids wanting to train rather than them needing to, because of regular attacks. But I'll take what I can get. We were all entertained by Mateo and Gina's banter during their spar at the end. They are equally matched, and they both seem to have something to prove. You okay there, beta boy? Gina taunts after she sucker punched him right in the side, in the soft spot just below his ribs. It's a signature move that I have learned to not give her an opportunity to use. It sucks and hurts like a bee teach. Just making sure to stroke your ego, Alpha. He draws out the words. I don't want you to feel bad when I take you down. His smile is one I've seen him use before to seduce girls. My brother is handsome, I can admit that, but he doesn't stand a chance against Gina. She can't feel the hormonal pull, but she sure as she knows how to play the game. I've seen more guys succumb to her beauty and flirtatiousness than I have seen girls fall for all my boys combined. They both race at each other, and it's a volley of arms swinging, legs punching, and grunts and small groans as they each land hits. The movement is so fast, and neither of them seem to be tiring. Gina finally gets her leg to sweep Mateo's, and he starts to go down, grabbing her by the waist and pulling her with him. He twists so she ends up underneath him, and he drops all his weight on her, earning an oomph as her breath is pushed out of her lungs. He pins her arms above her head. Looks like our boy won, Sam says excitedly from next to me. Oliver lets out a grunt of agreement. Don't underestimate her. Neither have gotten up yet. Your beta is still in it, even if he doesn't know. Lil starts. The fight isn't over until someone is unconscious, or both people stand up and walk away. I finish, and I can feel the eyes on us. I can only imagine what is running through their heads. She's not done. He just doesn't know it yet. I smile because my brother's face is one of triumph and gloating, and his rug is about to be swept from under his feet. Fgak. No. You cheated. He tries to squirm, but she reminds him she's in control. How is using all of my assets and your weaknesses cheating? You don't make out with your enemy. That wasn't making out. You need someone to broaden your horizons if that is your definition of making out. That was a distraction tactic. Do you surrender? I want to table this fight until later. We are not done here. He grunts as she shifts again. I will take that as a win for me, this round. It was a pleasure rolling around with you. She lets him go and slaps his cheek, and Lil and I are openly laughing now. I have to agree. That was a low blow, bordering on cheating. Cam says as they both get off the ground, and Mateo is looking at Gina like he's never seen her before. So, you've never flashed a smile at a girl to melt her panties and get your way? I ask. I mean, that's different. He coughs. That's not how you win a fight. So if I was pinned down by someone 3 times my size, who thinks he's better than me because of his size, you're saying I shouldn't use all my strengths and all his weaknesses against him to win and get myself free? You should not be in that position to begin with. You should always have backup. That isn't always possible, and you aren't answering her question, meaning you agree, but don't want to. Lil chimes in. It really is a distraction tactic, and it works 99% of the time. On both males and females. I shrug, smiling as wickedly as I can, and start walking. Gina and Lil following me to the locker room so we can change. I think you broke them. Lil is looking over her shoulder. I turn to look back, and they all have various levels of surprise on their faces, but with jaws hanging to the floor. Nah, I just don't talk like that around them. I think they forget sometimes that I'm not a little girl anymore, even though technically speaking, I'm little. I laugh at my own joke and head in, not giving them a second glance. They have never liked the idea that I can defend myself, but they also appreciate that I am a good fighter. It's a weird dynamic. We get ready and head over to the school. I mind-linked Luna Ava this morning on our way to training and let her know what we were up to. She has always been the most understanding of what has been going on with me in regards to Kaylee, even though I never confirmed my bully, and she gave us a great cover story that our principal really can't go against since it's by order of the Luna. We walk into the principal's office, and as predicted, Kevin Cunningham is already here, leaning over the principal's desk, looking very red in the face. Something has his panties in a wad this morning. I assume it's the fact that we are here, but the guys are not. I take a deep breath and walk up to the desk. Hello, Principal Duncan. I'm sure that Luna Ava informed you of our involvement in the school. The Luna did call this morning and mentioned you. Ladies would like to help out with classes. We will work on a schedule for you to assist the teachers and have something by the end of the week. He moves to turn back to Kevin, who of course is smiling, thinking we have been outsmarted and will just back down. I think you misunderstood, Mr. Duncan. We are here to evaluate the school's safety protocols. Gina starts, and he goes to open his mouth. I'm sure to protest, but she holds her hand up. It's not a matter of us being assigned anywhere. We have our orders and will follow them through, with no interference. There is no need to trouble yourself. Kevin clears his throat. I don't believe you young ladies have run any of your plans by the school board for approval. We can't have non-students just walking around the school unsupervised. Weren't you asking for our enrollment? Not 48 hours ago? Lil asks. But now that we are here, you are questioning our presence? She cocks an eyebrow at him. He opens his mouth, but I stop him. There's nothing to be approved. There are attacks on the pack, and the pups are at risk. We are elite warriors. This is what we do. We will be using that office there. I point out of the office door and to the left. We will have safety drills drawn up for you, and full reports will be going to the Luna and Alpha daily. You are mistaken, child. That is my office. There is no need for you ladies to have any kind of office here in the school. All the warrior training should be done on the training grounds, as our current Delta and future leaders have seen fit to implement without your help. Actually, the training was Skylar's idea and main project before she came to train at the Royal Pack. Lil jumps in. The future leaders just maintained the program while she was with us getting stronger. Having a central HQ for us, near the principal, so we can bring our implementations to you directly, is vital for our operation and not up for negotiation. We were just informing you of what our next steps are. You have an hour to gather your things, Mr. Cunningham. Your home office has plenty of space for you. I look right at Kevin. We also need access to all of the security cameras within the hour. I'm going to give Lillian and Gina a tour of the school. When we are done, we will get started. Thank you, gentlemen. I look both of them in the eye before turning around and leading the girls out, appearing more confident than I feel. Yes, keep strutting. They are still looking at us. Lil encourages me as we walk out, and I just roll my eyes. Well, now that entertainment is over, I want to see where you got jumped the most often. Gina looks at me from my right. Why? What purpose is that going to serve? I stop in my tracks. I have a feeling we just need to get this over with. We haven't seen your favorite girl since you walked away from her this morning. What are the chances she's going to revert to old habit to see if she can try to put you back in a place she can control? I can't argue with that, and Kaylee isn't exactly original with her torture. So I led them down the hall. Our school has a central office that deals with all of the students, but from there, the school is like a compound that branches from the main office. Our elementary wing houses all of our younger pups from preschool to second grade. We even have a daycare that our high school students help with for the Omegas that have both parents working. Our gym and indoor pool separate the younger elementary kids from the older elementary kids. The 3rd through 6th graders were always my favorite kids to work with on the weekends. We pass the middle school wing, and the tardiness is amplified as we hear the kids and teachers in discussion. The area between the middle school and the high school area houses all of our maintenance offices and storage. This is where I was taken most often, when Kaylee had her goons grab me. "What are you looking for?" I asked Gina, who is very intrigued with the wall. There aren't any cameras visible here, but this is probably the most used portion of the hallway. All the lockers over there and the stairwell here, every single high school student passes this way. If I was watching for problems or really wanting to gauge literally anything going on with the high school students, I would have cameras facing down both ends of the hallway, up the stairs and down the maintenance hallway. 'Cause we all know if kids are skipping class, it's to get laid in a janitor's closet. Gross. I can't hide the look of disgust on my face. Not really. It's probably the cleanest place. Better than the bathroom. Lil shrugs, and my eyes pop. What? You act like you've never gotten handsy with a boy. Even you aren't that innocent. No. Like I said, gross, and did you forget about the part where no one but the guys and Sierra talked to me before I left? Honestly, I assumed you had a little fun with all of them, except your brother, the way they hang on you. I choke on air. The coughing fit lasts longer than it should, with Lil laughing at me, and Gina doing a half-assed job at hiding her amusement. Anno. I try not to shout as I get the ability to talk back. What the hell? None of them look at me like that. Besides, Mateo would have killed any of them for trying, even if they did look at me as something other than a little sister. You, girlfriend, are blind, Gina says. I'm so lost. But I don't get my question answered when we're accosted by my favorite people. What the F are you doing here? Aren't you too good to be back at high school? Kaylee snarks. I wish I could just smack her, but old habits die hard, and here at school, I find myself frozen in her presence. I just want to walk away and not bring attention to our group, but my friends have no such problems. Get back to whatever diva hole you crawled out of, Lil starts in. We are too good to be here as students. We're here to make improvements. Move along. Lil twiddles her fingers down the hallway. You little B-teach. You don't have any authority here. That is where you are wrong. Gina steps out of the maintenance hallway. We all outrank you on so many levels. It's ridiculous. We are all elite warriors, placing us above everyone except your Alpha and Luna, for starters. If that wasn't enough, Lillian is a Delta rank, placing her above you. The Alpha of my pack, placing me above you. Skylar here is your Beta. Neither her or her brother have taken over the title, so they are equal. You are a Delta's second son's daughter. You have Delta blood, but do not act like a leader in this pack. No one respects you, which is why you bully the kids in this school. Let us do our job while we are here, and like Lillian said, move along. None of you will get away with treating your future Luna this way. You will all pay. I will have you thrown out of here tomorrow. Just wait until my dad hears about this. For some reason, the idea that she thinks she can kick me and my friends, who are helping in the fight against the rogues, out of the pack just because she doesn't like us is what sets me off. Kaylee, go fucking tell your dad whatever story you can come up with. It will be a long walk home for you. Like Gina said, you have no authority here. You never have. Go be teach to someone else. We have work to do. I mimic Lil's hand gesture and twiddle my fingers down the hallway. Kaylee growls and stomps away, pushing people as she goes, and I notice that Marnie and Jeannie are with her, but not at her heels like they used to be. Please tell me when we can just beat her ass. I really think that's what she needs. Clearly, she's never had an ounce of discipline in her life. Lil growls at her retreating back. Actually, the bigger pain would be to make her an omega. Someone who works all day out in the dirt, or slaving over the little kids, or something equally gross. I say, and they both laugh. What? I'm not kidding. You are way too nice. She needs to be a rogue and live without a pack. No money, no friends, no one to help her out, like you did inside this pack for years. Gina says, still inspecting the wall. Got it. Got what? Lil and I both move closer. I knew there was no way someone wasn't checking this hallway. But this isn't your typical CCTV school security camera. This is something that Nathaniel would design and put in for us on big ops. What the hell is it doing here? I ask. And how long has it been here? That is the million-dollar question. We need to get back to our office, and I need a laptop. Gina smiles. It is not the kind of smile that lets me know we are doing something fun. It lets me know she's on the hunt. Someone is about to have their ass handed to them. Are you going to take it with us? No. I don't know if it has sound yet, but if it doesn't, I don't want the owner to know we found it. Plus, if it stays live, I will be able to track the signal better. We need to get in contact with Nathaniel and Wyatt. But Wyatt is hurt, and we don't even know how badly. I don't want him to worry while he's trying to recover. Stop. Gina puts her finger in my face the way I've seen Luna Ava do with the guys. I can see where your head went. You know they both would be pissed to find out you needed them after it was too late to help. They are warriors, like us. They don't want to be put in a corner because they have been in a battle any more than you like to be pigeonholed into the weak little girl category by your friends. Fine, but let's get an idea of how extensive this is. We need to know where any device that could be attached to this one is and how many. That could take the rest of the day. Like you had other plans. Lil laughed at me. We actually have a mission, of sorts. You are just as bored as we are. Don't act like there is something better to do. She keeps laughing. We spend the rest of the day looking for and logging the locations of any camera that is for sure not a part of the school's security system. We went back to the office to see how Kevin was doing moving his worthless ST out. He actually thought he could appeal to the Alpha and was surprised to see us in his office again. Apparently, Alpha Lucas did not pass on whatever message Kevin gave him. So we helped pack any necessities and put them in his car for him, all in about 20 minutes. Principal Duncan wasn't going to challenge an Alpha in his face, and no one could get in contact with Alpha Lucas for clarification. We told him, when Alpha Lucas gave us orders to vacate, we would. From there, Gina borrowed a laptop from the tech department. She then proceeded to do all kinds of computery things to it and the desktop on Kevin's desk. She plans on going through all of Kevin's hard drive just to make sure he's actually doing what he should be here at the school. She made a copy of it to bring with us. She rightly doesn't trust anyone with digital information. Lil managed to change the lock on the door as well, which will be funny if someone tries to break in. Skylar, are you girls planning on coming home tonight? There is no way you still have things to work on at the school. Dinner is waiting. Oh, she-tea. What time is it? Luna Ava says, dinner is waiting. I look at the girls. We all jump up, looking at the clock. Lost track of time, Luna. Sorry. We are on our way. How is it 6 already? We all pack up our stuff and head out the door. The school is eerily dark with the fall night already mostly set. We run back to the pack house as best we can with all our bags, notebooks, and laptops. Lil and I grabbed one each so we could help with any searches Gina needed. Once inside, we all head up to my room to store everything, then back down to the kitchen. Luna Ava looks frazzled when she finds us in the kitchen, and we soon find out why as a screech of laughter comes from the formal dining room. Luna Ava leads us in slowly. "Oh, it's so good you could finally join us. I know all of your jobs keep you so busy. I don't know how you're going to have time for your mates when you can finally find them. Isn't that right, babes? But maybe they will all mate with other warriors who don't mind them traipsing around with who knows late at night." Kaylee has herself planted in between the twins, a hand on each of them, and I can feel my blood boil. Gina places her hand on my back. "Don't let her have this. She is nothing, and now knows that you know that too." She's retaliating. "Yeah, look at your guys. They are just as angry as you. We will be able to expose her. We have a ton of footage to go through. We will nail her ass to the wall for the whole pack to see." I take a deep breath in and then let it out, trying to not look like a raging bull. We have a pack to take care of. Of course, that takes priority. Luna Ava, if you will excuse us. We are going to eat quickly and then head up to the 3rd floor and finish what we were working on. Thank you so much for dinner. Guys, when you are done, let us know. We are still up for our nighttime rituals. I wink at them and get a smile out of everyone but the twins, who are still in Callie's grasp. She's trying to hold her smug look, but has no idea what I'm talking about. Her grip on the twins' arms tightens, even as Coda tries to remove it rather forcefully. We turn around and Lil can't hold in her laughter as we enter the kitchen again. "You are getting good at this game." She slaps me on the back. We eat quickly and head up to my room. Gina was able to mind-link Nathaniel and Wyatt earlier. Wyatt is getting better and bored because Doc Gannon won't let him do anything, even though everything is healed. Which means not everything is healed, but Wyatt wants out. She gave them jobs to do and asked them to figure out how quickly they can get here. About an hour later, the guys come barging in my room. We are sitting on the floor in front of my couch, with papers spread out everywhere. They have zero regard for what we are doing as the twins plop on the couch. Mateo and Olive drop into the 2 single chairs, and Sam sits on the floor next to me. "What the hell did you 3 do today?" Mateo asks accusingly. Those 2 are on a warpath, and Kaylee all but superglued her ass to Cam and Coda. "It's not funny." Coda whines at us. "Do you have any idea how much that sucked? We didn't get anything done, and we have a ton of stuff to do with all the new security protocols. That is a you guys problem. If you can't tell her to go away or leave you alone, how is that our fault? No one in your pack tells that girl no. If anything, it's your own fault." Gina shrugs. "I wonder if she skipped school after she accosted us in the hallway if she was harassing you guys that long." Lil mused. "What about her following me around when the twins got called in with Alpha Lucas? She said it was my job to be with her when the twins are busy. I didn't get anything done either. I tried to just work and ignore her, but she doesn't know what silence is and everything is about her." My brother scrubs his face with his hands, like he can wipe the memory away. Does she not realize that it would actually be Oliver's job to watch over her, technically speaking? "The F-cock did you just say?" Oliver sits up straight and looks at me. Well, I'm pretty sure her comment to Mateo was referring to her never-ending ploy to remind people that she thinks she is the next Luna of this pack. If that is the far-fetched case, Oliver would be her protector, not Mateo. With all her leadership, Luna, better than thou talk, you would think she would know what everyone's jobs are. I roll my eyes. I never really thought of that. She always talks about being Luna, and we all just ignore her. But she has no idea what we actually do. Sam breathes out. "We have to get rid of her, though. Do you know how hard it was just to come up here without her? She obviously knew that you have Lil and Gina up here. Thanks for ruffling those feathers, by the way. She tried to talk her way up here, too. Even her dad tried to intervene, saying we can't play favorites. Technically speaking, you guys aren't playing favorites. Midge is... It's Kaylee's fault for being a B-teach. Lil shrugs. How did you shut her down? Gina asks. Dad actually interjected, and Cunningham looked pissed, like he didn't expect Dad to side with us. Cam looks thoughtful. We did not hesitate, though, slammed that door and ran. So you two are stuck up here tonight. Sam pointed to them. We are not opening that door for anything. We all laugh. It's still kind of early. Can we do a movie or something? I don't think we can get any more done here tonight. I gesture to the piles of papers we have. Yes, Tiny, let's do a movie night. Cam says, standing from the couch and reaches for my hands. But instead of helping me to my feet, he throws me over his shoulder as I screech. Old habits, Tiny. It's tradition for movie night. You guys are stupid. I roll my eyes but smile as he walks us into the hallway. I hear my friends laughing at me until Gina's OST lets me know someone threw her over a shoulder. Mateo saunters out with her mumbling expletives about cavemen. You come anywhere near me, beefcake, and I will punch you in the balls. Lil says, to, I assume, Oliver. Sam is a big guy, but I wouldn't consider him a beefcake. We head into the media room and get set up to watch an action movie. Thank the goddess that Luna Ava keeps this room stocked with snacks and drinks, so we really don't have to go anywhere. We all find places on the giant-shaped couch and settle in. I actually made it through most of the movie before falling asleep. Something about these guys. I just feel warm and safe, and my body and brain just shut down. I woke up warm and snuggled with the now familiar cinnamon and citrus scent all around me. Why do I even have a bed here? I mumble into Coda's shirt. I can count on one hand the amount of times I've used it. Why do we have our own beds? Cam shifts behind me. Another great question. I roll over, moving to follow Cam out of bed. 5 more minutes smalls. Coda snatches me back and I laugh as he cages me in his arms. Dakota, I need to use the bathroom and get ready for training. The girls and I have stuff to get done at the school today. Let go and move your butt. I reach behind me and slap the side of his butt cheek and hear a sharp intake of breath. Then he jumps out of bed, almost dumping me to the floor. What the hell? Cam's smile is from ear to ear. Apparently, he likes to be spanked. Then he winks at me. I can feel all the blood rush to my cheeks. My face is on fire with embarrassment. I'm gonna go get ready. I mumble, running out his bedroom door and straight to my own room. Once there, I head straight for the bathroom to shower. I don't stop to grab clothes. I just need to wash off the feeling of shame or unease or whatever this is. I hate feeling uncomfortable around these guys, and the moments always come at the worst times. I walk out to my room wrapped in a towel and drying my hair with another, not really paying attention. Yes, little bit. Nice legs. Oh, FCK! I jumped, wrapping the towel around his throat while planting him face down on my bed, causing Gina and Mateo to jump out of bed as well. What are you doing in here? I was just making sure everyone was awake. We need to get going so we can beat Kaylee out the door. He grunts under me. Nice reflexes, by the way. Do you use a towel as a weapon often? Just be glad she didn't have her blades on her. You'd be a shish kebab right now. Gina laughs at his expression as I let him up. I'm going to jump in quick to wake up. Give me 5, and we can go. Is Lil ready? Yeah, she used Coda's shower. You two might as well move your stuff up here. I mean, if Luna Ava hasn't already. We do seem to have clean outfits each day, Gina says, walking into the bathroom laughing. I feel like we are on a recon mission, trying to find entrance and exit points. Lil laughs over the mind link as I peek out the door from the 3rd floor stairwell. The coast seems clear, and it wouldn't matter if it wasn't. If she thought we had started sneaking around to avoid her, she would try that much harder to attach herself to the twins. That's our next project. We need to hack into the contractor's computer and find out what the holdup is on the Cunningham's house. It's been a year. Even if they did start over from scratch, it should be done by now. They need to quit stalling. On it, boss. Gina chirps back as we make our way down to the kitchen. Would you stop that? I am not your boss, Alpha. This time, Gina giggles out loud. Is it bad that I'm jealous that I can't hear your conversations? Sam asks as we walk towards the island where Lenny has a pile of foil-wrapped goodness for us. Yes, you and your FOMO are something special. But we have to move. Creatures are stirring and we don't want to be here for that. Thank you, Lenny. You are amazing, I say, running out the back door and the rest of my friends following. We get halfway to the training grounds before I slow down and open one of my wraps. It is still steaming, filled with eggs and veggies, cheese and ham and I. Do not hesitate to devour it in about 3 bites. So how is it you could sense or smell her coming from a floor away, but you didn't notice me in your room this morning and almost decapitated me? Sam steps up next to me, eating, and for once serious. I really wasn't expecting anyone other than Mateo and Jenna to be there, and your scent is already all over my room, so it wasn't something that made me wary or on alert. I am always on alert for her. It's like second nature now. I don't know if I could turn it off. Training was far more effective this morning as we all are getting our bearings. After the guys all divide to their various jobs for the day, Oliver and Mateo decide to escort us to the school to see how we are set up and if there is anything they can do to help. We talked a little about what we are up to, but they got the same story as Principal Duncan. Not because I don't trust them, but they are all really quick to jump in to save me, and we need to really know the origins of the trouble here at school. I need to know what the Cunninghams are up to and what their angle is, and I can't do that with the guys in tow. Actually, they are going to be helpful in keeping them distracted for us. I can't believe you took Cunningham's office from him. I thought you were joking. Mateo laughs as we walk in. The single mahogany desk is very upscale for a school, but very on par with his tastes and styles. Kevin Cunningham loves all things expensive and opulent. The wall behind the desk has a large window that overlooks the courtyard area behind the school between the elementary and middle and high school areas. This is where most students eat lunch on nice days. The wall furthest from the door has an extensive bookshelf that I thoroughly plan to look through. I'm not sure if all the books are decorative or if he actually uses them. The wall in front of the desk has a dark brown leather couch, similar to what Alpha Lucas has in his own office at the Pack House. The wall with his office door leading to the hallway has framed photographs of his family. Everything is very formal and no one looks happy to be in the photos. Perfect, Gina growls, sitting behind the desk. What? We all ask at the same time. Lil, check your lock. Has it been tampered with? She doesn't answer any of us. But that is Gina. She's like a bloodhound when she's on a mission, and nothing is going to distract her train of thought. Doesn't look like it from the outside. Why? Gina puts her index finger up to her mouth, indicating we should stay quiet. Someone has been here. I think someone has been in here, but they were good about covering their tracks. She gets up and starts to move around the room, not making a sound. I've seen this before. She thinks someone has eyes or ears on us. High school students are probably trying to play tricks on us, since we are new in the pack and the building. She rolls her eyes as she looks through the books. What are you looking for? Can we help? I ask over our team mind link. Someone wiped the hard drive and then installed a mirroring code. But they are stupid or have no idea that someone in your team has basic computer knowledge and would have set up defenses for general, remedial-level hacking. The microphone is live on the computer, so I have to assume another one of those cameras we found in the hallway. Yesterday is probably here. Should we help look or stay put and act as a distraction? Lil is always hoping to be a distraction, usually in the form of destruction. Let's go with minor distraction in the form of talking too much, Lillian. Do not destroy the office. I link Oliver and Mateo to let them know what is happening while Lil rambles on. Well, I don't know she about computers. So we are just going to have to wait. I know Alpha King Reggie wanted us to go through all the high school files and start to pinpoint potentials for the next trials. We didn't have as many people last summer as we did when Midge ran them. That was our biggest year yet. We had just started, so hopefully we can recover the information we gathered. It's so frustrating to have to start over again. I whine a little, walking over to the wall of pictures. What does that mean for your investigation? Mateo asks. Nothing really. We will have to gather our candidates manually, which will take up more time, so we will have more hours here. Less time to hang out with you guys. I keep up my pout while following my instincts to the family picture of the Cunninghams sitting on a side table. All the eyes seem to follow you no matter what angle you are to the picture. I get the chills thinking about any of them watching us. Ever. Then I see it, a small black camera set into the thick frame. If I hadn't been training with Gina and Nathaniel and looking for ST like this for the last year, I would never have noticed it. Gina, got it. She looks over at me and nods. Keep talking. I'll take care of that one. We need to look for more. If it was me, I would have one on each wall to cover all angles and blind spots. I relay to the guys, and they keep playing along. You missed the first bonfire of the year, Shorty. We should do another one to welcome you back, now that you are stuck with us for a little while. Mateo says. That would be awesome. We really don't get a lot of downtime in between missions. Are there really that many problems? Doesn't Alpha Reggie have a lot of teams to work different missions? Yeah, but our team has unique skills that make us the obvious or only choice for certain missions. I shrug. Lil waves, pointing to a camera, inlaid in the frame of the window. Then we really need to relax one night. You still the DD, or have you graduated into the land of underage drinking with the rest of us? Oliver's attempt at being a smartass has Lil, Gina, and I all laughing. I smile at him playfully. You'll just have to find out. And this time the girls get to take body shots. Yes. I have no idea what you're talking about, but it sounds like a challenge. Lil points at me. I will always take a drinking challenge. When is this happening? Sam is going to be so pissed he missed this conversation. Oliver laughs darkly. Mateo smiles, but ignores his comment. The twins should be done with their patrols around lunch, and we will trade out with them. They have a few things going on with the Alpha this afternoon, going over pack business since so many imported things have been restricted or slowed down because of the rogues. Maybe after dinner we can make plans. That's really the only time we are all together right now. We get a thumbs up from Gina as she moves to the desk and opens her laptop, then logs into the desktop. Her fingers are flying away on the keyboard, moving between the two devices. Is there anything we can do to help with supplies? That is one of Lil's specialties. Not sure. I think the twins have it handled. I mean, I haven't seen any shortages yet, but we can mention it to them. I just nod, not really knowing how to respond. After about 10 minutes of silence, the only sounds are our breathing and the keys. Gina looks up. All right, I have all of the cameras on a loop for now. I'll get a loop of the office empty here soon. Then we should be good to go. It doesn't appear that any of them are recording sound, but the microphone was on when we walked in, which means someone is trying to record conversations. I have control of that as well. It's just static now. That will eat up all the storage they are recording on, and whoever it is will need to come and try to fix it sooner rather than later. She takes a deep breath. I want to connect to the signals on the cameras in the hallways, and we will need to do a full sweep of the school. I wonder if there are any cameras in the bathrooms or locker rooms too. It's disgusting. But blackmail always needs proof, and your little girlfriend has some kind of leverage on people to get them to do what she wants. With the kind of pull her dad has, it wouldn't surprise me. Lil says, seriously. We also need to make sure that this isn't different people. I roll my eyes at their looks. I hate the B-teach, but I'm not going to assume this is all her and her dad. Every time we find something, this whole thing seems bigger than just the two of them. Maybe it's connected, or maybe we just have more than one shitty person in our pack. But I won't just try to target because I don't like them. Let's go figure out how deep your leech is in this then. Lil jumps from her spot on the edge of Gina's desk, slapping Mateo on the back. You need to stay here and figure out how someone got in here and how to prevent it without making any noticeable changes. I look at her. Boring. We already know they came in through the window. And that is an easy fix. What? How do you know? Oliver seems genuinely curious. This window was set up to be accessed from the inside or the outside. The way the latch sits here, it can be flipped from this spot on the outside of the window. She quickly goes through what she is explaining. Either someone was planning to break into the school, or whoever designed this office wanted to be able to get in and out without detection, and the first thing any intelligent person would do is check the locks on the windows and doors. Can you look at all the windows here and at the pack house for the same features? I'm curious now that you are bringing it up. Mateo asks. Sure, it will be easier when Nathaniel and Wyatt can be here. They will help this process go faster. Who are they? Oliver almost keeps the jealous tone out of his voice. My brother is not successful at all, and I smile. They are part of our team. Nathaniel is probably the only person smarter than Gina with computers, and Wyatt was here for trials. He was on my Capture the Flag team. I will need them for this project. You got it, boss, Lil says, laughing as I kick her in the ass as she runs out the door. Not your boss. Now get back here. You aren't going anywhere until this lock is secure. Yes, boss. We all laughed this time. I'll link you when I'm done. Shouldn't take me too long. The rest of us head out of the office and down the hallway towards the high school end of the building. Mateo, why don't you stay and work with Gina here? And Oliver and I will go to the second floor and look around, covering more space. Why do you automatically assume we will want to work together? Gina attempts snark, but she can't fool me. She is getting close to my brother, whatever that means, and I think it scares her. It didn't go unnoticed that they were together in my bed this morning. I don't think they were doing anything nasty. She physically has no desires like that right now. But she is drawn to him the same way she is drawn to me. For the first time since I have known her, she slept in a room without me and didn't wake up screaming for me in the middle of the night. That has to mean something. I don't know if that is because we are siblings or something else. I am not opening that can of worms, though, because Oliver isn't going to let me out of his sight while I'm in the same building as Kaylee. And it's my brother's job to protect the alpha. I wink at them and head up the stairs before either can protest. Once we get far enough away, Oliver touches my arm gently. How did you know that I wouldn't let you walk around here with Kaylee on the loose? It's a whisper, and it's almost unsure. Oliver, of all the guys, you have noticed the most about me. At this point, it's an unacknowledged fact that Kaylee has a massive problem with me. She always has. There is no way you are going to leave my side, even if Mateo was here with me. That is how reliable you are to me. I just turn and keep walking. All in all, today was productive for us. We found a total of 22 cameras and have every intention of searching the rest of the school. Gina was able to get schematics of the school, so Lil could map them out for us as we found them. We don't see any common theme or direction they are pointing in. It doesn't appear like they are targeting anyone in particular, but we also only found the ones in the most populated areas of the high school. We need to pinpoint more. Gina was also able to find the plans for the Cunningham's house while getting the plans for the school. We now can prove the unnecessary changes and permit submissions are what is holding everything up. At a glance, it just looks like red tape and paperwork that goes with all new buildings. Every time something is changed, everything needs to be approved and inspected again. And they have done a decent job of making it look random. but something always seems to happen to make the permits expire and need reissuing. Gina, Lil, and I have decided that we are going to join the construction crew and get this house done this winter. I mean, what else are we going to do with all of our free time? We sat down to dinner in the formal dining room again. The only people who look comfortable here are Kaylee and her dad. Even Alpha Lucas looks annoyed at the setup. It might also be that Kevin placed himself to the left of the Alpha, where normally my dad, the Beta, or the twins sit, and he has not stopped talking since we sat down. We decided to sit at the far end of the table, completely lost in conversation and ignoring the almost blatant begging of Kaylee for the twins to sit next to her, since she posted herself next to Luna Ava. I don't know what the deal is, but if the Alpha and Luna are going to let these two continue to walk all over them, they can be the ones to entertain them. I love the Alpha and Luna with all of my heart, but I know this whole situation is not right. I can't help them, though, if I don't know what is going on. As a group, we decided to see what happens when we stay in our own little bubble at the opposite end of the table. The twins placed me at the head, opposite Alpha Lucas, each of them flanking me. Lil and Gina sat across from each other. Naturally, Mateo sat next to Gina, leaving Oliver and Sam to sit next to Lil. We all walked in talking animatedly about everything that we got done today, although most of it was code so Kevin wouldn't get too suspicious. I could feel the different levels of stares aimed right at me. Why don't you children join us down here in your regular seats? We stop our conversation to look at Kevin, none of us moving. Kaylee gently pats the two open place settings on either side of her. We're good here. Thank you, though, Kevin, I say, as sweetly as I can. I believe that particular seat is reserved for visiting alphas and other important pack members, not general seating. Oh, you are right. How silly of me. I get up, grabbing my plate, the twins looking appalled at my actions until they notice Gina getting up too. We switch places, exchanging a wink. I am now sitting in between Cam and Mateo, who looks at Coda and gives some kind of guy head signal, and they both change places too, bringing a smile to all of our group's faces. They are clearly staking a claim in front of these adults. We go back to our conversation as if nothing changed. Sam tried to make plans over the mind link for having a bonfire, but it just became a pain to have to translate between my two groups of friends. So we decided to table that topic for later, and I ventured into something a little safer. Sam, have you heard from Sierra? She hasn't responded to me in a while, so I don't know if she's on a mission or what. Is she coming to visit soon? She is for sure coming for the spring ball, especially if you all will be here. I'm hoping to get her here for my birthday. He gives me a knowing look, and our biggest player has been tamed and is hopeful for his mate. That boy has been gone for her since the day they met, but it is so cute to see that look in his eyes. But there is a little bit of fear there too. He loves her, and what if the moon goddess decided they shouldn't be mates? I have to check in with Assistant and Alpha Reggie tomorrow. I'll see what her status is. His smile is blinding. So, do you all turn 18 soon then? Gina asks. Yeah, in the spring. We were all born within weeks of each other, so we usually just celebrate the whole month, wrapping up with Little Bit's birthday. That must have been fun growing up, Lil says, looking excited. A whole month of parties. Why didn't you say anything, Midge? I was on a mission last year for my birthday, so I couldn't say anything, and it kind of sucked anyway. I forgot about that. Didn't Mina hijack your date? She laughs, and I smile at the memory. It's bittersweet now. A clatter of utensils next to me makes me jump. What date? Coda asks, sounding pained. You never said you were dating anyone, Shorty. My brother's look is accusing. First, I was on a mission, trying to get close to the rogues so we could get into their camp. It happened to be a good excuse to do that, and second, I do not need to run my dating schedule by you, Mateo. The hell you don't. Who was this guy? Why did we never hear about him? Did you run all the girls you were seeing by me? I tried deflecting, but regretted immediately seeing Gina flinch and knowing I unintentionally caused her pain. Don't change the subject. I'm going to need more information. Who was the guy? You don't have to worry about him. He won't be an issue, trust me. I look at Gina again, but she won't make eye contact with me. Sky, what's up? Why won't you tell us? Oliver tries for a softer approach. If he isn't a problem, then it shouldn't matter if you tell us or not. Why are they always so pushy with this kind of stuff, but can't seem to tell Kaylee, Marnie, and Jeannie where to stuff it? They can F-ack around however they want, but the first mention of me hanging with a guy who isn't them sends them into guard mode. Even talking about Nathaniel and Wyatt today made Oliver jealous. And they know, or should know, that there are guys on my team. I take a deep breath and look each of the guys in the eyes, making sure I have their full attention. Tyler won't be a problem, because what's left of him is currently in a box. I stand taking my plate back to the kitchen. I have lost my appetite and just want to get away before any more of that conversation fills the ears of Kaylee and Kevin. I don't think there is much they can do with knowing I was on a mission, and as a part of that mission, I went on a date with a guy who is now dead. But my guys sometimes get tunnel vision when it comes to me, and they forget who is around and listening. We already caused enough of a stir with our seating arrangement. I'm sure most of the focus was on us. I head up the stairs and wait for Lil and Gina, who aren't far behind. Let's just grab your stuff. I'm sure most of it is already upstairs, but I'm done pandering to the Cunninghams. These idiots need to see when they aren't wanted. You are my guests and you are staying in my room. I roll my eyes and head over to the 2 bedrooms, housing my friends' belongings. It takes them all of 5 minutes to gather up their gear and then follow me up to the 3rd floor. We place their extra stuff in my closet and spread out on the floor in front of my fireplace. We have gone over the camera locations and the directions they were pointing when we found them. Still nothing significant, but Lil started penciling in the camera ranges and is now looking for blind spots. Gina and I moved on to the Cunningham's house blueprints. It's significantly larger than the original home, and actually more square footage than any of the homes on our block, with the exception of the pack house. Do you think Kevin is compensating for something? Gina laughs. Probably. If he is delusional enough to think that Kaylee will be Luna, he will think his own importance should increase as well, and his material possessions should reflect that importance. He tried to tell the Luna that she needed to redecorate the pack house every year, so when visiting alphas came, they would see the changes and know that we were a rich pack, and that alone would make them more likely to sign treaties and side with us in the event of a war. I rolled my eyes. But he puts no stock or emphasis on warriors or their training. We are just hired help to him, no better than Omegas. Lil adds from her corner of the floor, not looking up at us. He's no better than the leeches who chase Cameron, Dakota, and even Xander. Hey, there's a tap on my door as Sam pushes it open. Can we come in? Sneaky bastards. They know I can't say no to him. Technically, you already did, but yeah, come on in. I shrug and go back to what Jenna and I have been working on. We deserve that. Sorry we didn't realize what the guy in the box meant to you. I rub my face and take a slow breath in and out. It's not that he meant something to me. Not really. I had to make friends with the rogues to get into their inner circle. I had to get to their compound and figure out how they are hiding themselves so well. Getting close was part of the job. It usually is when we have to go in. I gesture to the 3 of us. We always have to get close to people, and sometimes lines are blurred for the sake of the mission. What kind of blurred lines are we talking here, Biddy? I don't want to hear any more if I have to hear about any guy putting his hands on you. He puts his hands up in a surrender gesture before going on. I'm sure feeling the surge of anger at his statement. I'm not saying don't do what you need to do to complete your mission and take care of you. I literally can't hear about any guy putting his hands on you. My wolf is losing his ST at the mere thought. Details might send him over the edge. Tell your wolf to calm his tits. Your itty-bitty is the innocent one of us. But for some reason, everyone is drawn to her, so she is usually our first point of contact with any group we are trying to infiltrate. Lil states matter-of-factly, stretching the truth, but I understand what she's insinuating to placate my guys. Now, you guys need to help us get the diva and her daddy out of the pack house. We have a plan. Are you in? We spend the rest of the night finalizing what we are going to do over the next month. We have limited time before winter sets in, and certain things need to be completed if we want to get them out before the new year. I'm sure this is part of Cunningham's plan, waiting for the weather to be too bad to move forward on the house and stalling all other projects at the same time. I also told the guys I moved my team up here, and when Nathaniel and Wyatt get here, they will be staying on this floor as well. We will make do, we always have. My team has slept in some pretty shitty places, so to have running water, bathrooms, and food at hand, we are all pretty set. I also told them I will make that announcement when the time comes. No more pussyfooting around what the Cunninghams decide is fair or not. Hopefully, though, they will be moved into their brand new, beautifully finished home by the time the rest of my team gets here. And some of the drama can be eliminated. It's close to midnight when we wrap everything up. I rub my eyes and stand to stretch my stiff muscles. I notice Coda and Cam have been rubbing their temples like they both have headaches. You guys okay? I ask, walking close to them, still seated on the floor. Yeah, just figuring out how to block certain people is tough. And Kaylee has been going at it for hours. Coda grumbles. What do you mean? I kind of want to know and kind of don't want to hear this at all. They have everyone's attention now, so this is not common knowledge. She learned most likely from her dad that we have the same access as our dad does to the pack link. But since we are still in training, we can't always control the thoughts that come through to us. Our dad can open and shut the link at will. We aren't there yet, and Kaylee has learned how to push through while she's having an org exam. Cam stutters on the last word. Is he blushing? She obviously knows we are up here with you three and wants to distract us. What she doesn't understand is that has never been a turn-on for either of us, especially if she is with someone else. Not my brand of entertainment. Coda shudders. So, you're telling me that if your mate was getting herself off and opened up her link to you, it wouldn't be a turn-on for you? Lil is always poking the bear. Our mate is a whole different story. She can send us dirty thoughts anytime she wants. The pack bicycle can keep her escapades to herself. Please call her that to her face the next time you see her, and she's acting like a skank. Gina laughs. I would also like to record it for posterity. We are all laughing as I move toward my bathroom. Tiny, where are you going? The bathroom, to get ready for bed. Just bring your stuff to our room. You know you're staying there anyway. It will just be faster. Fine. We have a ton to get done tomorrow. Oliver, are you up for another magic session? It will be easier when everyone is at school and work. I feel like we haven't had enough kickback from Kaylee, and her dad and I want to be ready for whatever they throw at us. I can feel something coming. You got it, Biddy. We can set up after training. Then, if they need you midday, we should be good to go. I nod, and we all head our separate ways. I shower and dress quickly, feeling a little strange to be naked in Cam's bathroom, even though they are being perfect gentlemen and leaving me alone. I walk out in my usual tank and shorts. I don't know why I am hesitating. I am put in their bed almost every time I'm here, but this is actually the first time I am choosing to sleep next to them, and it feels important, special for some reason. What are you waiting for? Get over here. I'm tired and I need to shut my migraine off. Coda groans. So that's all I'm good for? A balm for your headache, I say with a smile, even though the room is dark and I don't know if he can see my face. You know it's more than that, but right now, yes, please, make it stop. He whines as he grabs me around the waist and flips me in between him and Cam. Just like always, they don't hesitate to tangle our arms and legs, and we all fall into a deep sleep quickly. As I dream, it dawns on me that they will all be 18 in 6 months, and I could lose this. What am I thinking? I will lose this. No mate would want to share them, any of them. I hope that I'm lucky enough to have Sam mated to Sierra. At least that friendship can remain. But what about Oliver and the twins? I am so close to all 3 of them. We have some type of symbiotic relationship. I don't even know if I will be able to leave them to go back to the training compound again. Just the thought of that hurts my heart. I stir from my fitful sleep and notice my cheeks are wet. Was I crying in my sleep? This is worse than I thought. I get up to go shower again. I can only imagine what my face looks like if I was crying. I let the scalding water make my whole body red as I try to wash away the sadness my dreams brought on. When I can't stall anymore, I hop out and get dressed, then step back into Cam's room, noticing both of them are standing in the middle of the room, waiting for me, clearly having a conversation over their mind link. Coda grabs for me as I try to pass them, and I let him pull my back to his chest as Cam steps in front of me, placing his hand under my chin to raise my eyes to his. He doesn't say anything, just searching for something in my eyes. I just take a deep breath, breathing both of their scents and letting it calm me. I shake my head. We have things to get done today, and I have months before any of my worries need to be dealt with. He looks at his brother and something passes between them. He nods, looking at me again, and they both let me go, following me out of the room. The walk downstairs is somber, or we are all just tired, only getting a few hours of sleep. But the drama hasn't even begun yet. As soon as we get into the kitchen, Kaylee's high-pitched screech greets us. Good morning, my alphas. I hope I was able to help you sleep well. She bats her lashes suggestively, standing from the island where she was sitting with her dad. He's wearing a smug look of triumph. No, actually. Your nighttime activities gave us a migraine. Smalls had to help us out, Coda says, wrapping an arm around my waist as Lil spits out and Gina chokes on their first sips of coffee. What? Please try to keep your link closed when you are having SX. It's inappropriate and disrespectful to whomever you're with. Cam follows behind. How dare he? Kevin starts, but Cam cuts him off with a hand up. Lenny, thank you for breakfast. He leads us past the tray that Lenny has set for us with wrapped breakfast burritos piled high. We each grab a couple foil-wrapped burritos, then out the door to the training grounds. We have settled into a good routine with training in just a couple days. I forgot how much I loved this. I love teaching and working with all the kids. I guess each of the lead warriors take turns doing the Sky training, because it is extremely early and kind of brutal since it is a punishment training. It is funny to watch the kids come from Sky training and then get paired with Lil, Gina, or I directly after. Many of them are not repeat offenders. We each shower and change after training. Lil and Gina head to the school with Mateo and Sam. The twins head back to the pack house to work on the pack financials for the month, and Oliver and I head down to the bonfire space, following instructions from Elena in the grimoire. Today I am going to try to manipulate Earth today. I have been able to levitate it, but not actually move it. And if it comes down to a war, Elena thinks that will be a good skill. I agree. So talk me through this, Biddy. What should I expect? A lot of misfires, actually. I started with water, and I think for the first couple hours, Elena was soaked even standing directly behind me. We both laugh, but I am serious. I can only imagine what I will do with clods of dirt. I sit on the ground with the book open to the marked page and begin chanting. The reaction is almost immediate as chunks of earth begin floating around me. It feels like my mind is holding lots of strings, pulling them up and suspending them in the air. Now I have to split my focus and suspend some and throw others. The first chunk I try to move explodes with a pop and shower of dirt. Oliver lets out a little laugh, so I focus on one closer to his leg, which also explodes, hitting him with some of the debris. He jumps and moves to the side, and I focus on another close to him, getting another explosion. I find that having him to focus on as a target helps me. I am still only making them explode, but I can isolate better. After about 2 hours, I can make little dime-sized pieces of dirt follow him around the clearing. Midge, we need you. Not an emergency, but wrap up what you are doing. I found something. Okay, give us 20 minutes. We are needed at the school. Gina found something. I pick up the grimoire and stand, brushing the small bits of dirt in my lap. Biddy? I finally look at Oliver and almost fall over laughing. My gamma is covered head to toe in dirt. He looks like he was crawling around on the ground through a mud pit and then let it dry. I don't know if there is more than an inch of him that is left clean. You look good. You should totally rock the look. I choke out between laughter. Oh, yeah? He comes at me, and I drop the book to defend myself. Oliver drops low to take out my legs. I spin, but he still manages to get one, and I am thrown forward, so I tuck in a roll, and he follows to try and gain the advantage. But I use his weight to my advantage. I flip us both around and end up sprawled out across his chest. He could easily reverse our position, but he doesn't. He just stays on his back and holds me. I lay my head on his chest, enjoying the closeness. He takes a deep breath. I know you don't want to talk about it, but I have to ask. He rubs my back a few more times before he continues. How fast are you trying to get out of here? I know you want to get back to training, and you are doing all kinds of stuff with Alpha Reggie, now that you know you are connected with them. But how long do we get to keep you? Last time was really hard. I know none of the others are going to say anything, but it was really bad. What do you mean, really bad? No one said anything. No one wanted to make you feel bad about being gone so long, and with how it went down, I think we just wanted to focus on having you back. But you need to know. Midge, what are you doing? Time is of the essence here. Lil, your timing is terrible, you know that? Why? You banging your gamma? You know I'm not, asshole. Then move your ass. You can ogle your boy later. I take a deep breath and press my forehead to Oliver's chest. Can we table this? Lil is being insistent that what she has is time-sensitive. I also feel like this is a conversation for all of us to have together, and shots will be needed. Shots? You have grown up, haven't you? I had to learn how to keep up with college kids and stay safe. So yeah, a little. We should maybe sneak out and do the bonfire tonight. Why not? Let's go see what your team found. We really should go clean up first. Nah. They interrupted something. They should know that. It will also help to spread some rumors at school. He winks at me. I just shake my head, picking up my book, packing it back into my bag, and we head out. He won't let us walk, though, and heads towards a black Jeep. Is this yours? He nods. When did you get this? I thought you guys went everywhere in the truck. I copy him and climb in as he starts it up and pulls out of the driveway. We still take the truck when we're together, but we have been divided a lot over the last year, really getting into our individual training and jobs. Like I said, lots of changes. I don't know if all they guys are going to come clean. You just need to know we were all in a dark place for a while after you left. For me, it was getting to you so late. The twins actually didn't speak to each other for almost a month. No one knows what happened there, but they stopped sharing a room too, and I've never seen them sleep separately in our lives. They did until you got back. Yep, drinks are needed, especially if we are going to trade horror stories like that. We pull up to the school and head into the office. We get strange looks from the few people in the hallways as we enter, making us both laugh. For only 2 people. Lil and Gina have a flurry of things going on. Papers and blueprints are spread out everywhere. What is all this? I ask, heading straight to the desk, tracing my fingers on a stack of blueprints. We have them, and we will be able to get the house built in a month. Cunningham is using PAC funds to pay for this big-ass house. She points at plans in front of her that he wants, and he has no actual permissions from the Alpha or anyone that should have signed off on it. The original report shows that there was suspicion of foul play and arson, but no one followed through on the investigation and everyone just skipped to rebuilding the house. She hasn't made eye contact yet. She is back to typing on her computer. That's strange. I don't remember anyone saying anything about foul play, and the guys and I were all a part of the teams that took care of the damage and cleared out the areas to make room for the rebuild. Cunningham's house was one of 5 that were really damaged to the point that the families needed to vacate, Oliver supplied. Both of them looked up at us finally with different expressions on their faces. Not banging your gamma, my ass. What were you 2 up to? I told you, magic can get a bit messy. That's what we're calling now? She laughs. You know none of us can do anything like that. Stop. Like what? I want to actually hear you say it. Why my friend insists on embarrassing me, I don't know. Your gamma is a hottie. None of us would blame you. My eyes go wide. Stop teasing her and her gamma. Even he's blushing. Gina chuckles. I clear my throat then ask, where did the other 4 families go? We didn't kick them out of rooms at the pack house, did we? Trying to change the subject. No, their houses were fixed within 6 months. They all stayed at the pack house, while we rebuilt one house at a time and vacated as soon as they could. The Cunninghams' project was the last to be started. Kevin said he was being generous and allowing the lower, more needy pack members to be taken care of first. Oliver rolled his eyes, going with the subject change. He just used it to stall. We all know that. As people moved out of the pack house, they slowly took over more rooms on the guest floor. Then there were constant problems with plans or inspections or materials. Kevin actually spent about 2 weeks going through each piece of lumber that was delivered, and if he found anything wrong, he would send the whole delivery back. We had a lot of angry suppliers. My dad had to placate them and then finally kick Kevin off the construction site because people were quitting. So, that begs the question, why would it take more than a year for one house when 4 others were completed in 6 months? Why did no one else catch this or allow it in the first place? Lil asks. I honestly think that they make so much noise and cause so many headaches that having them focus on the rebuilding of their house was a break for so many people, while being a massive irritation for others. And Kevin was in charge of the rebuild project, so any complaints about him didn't go anywhere. Oliver shrugs. But you guys can't even relax at home with them around. It used to be a safe space to be normal away from pack members, and now you don't even have that. They are everywhere, trying to insert themselves in everything. I mean, just listening to Kevin try to insert his opinion about training programs when he doesn't even train himself is painful. I don't know why I'm pleading with them. They get it. That's what we are going to fix. Gina looks like Christmas came early. He expects the pack to pay for the full rebuild of his house since it was damaged in an attack. Then recommendations for necessary improvements were made. Recommendations that came from an uncertified inspector Kevin hired personally, mind you. And before you ask, yes, I have concrete proof. With that knowledge alone, he isn't eligible to have the pack pay for the extra expenses. So we are going to build his house as originally planned when it was torn down. How long will that take? And how do we keep Kevin from stalling again? I ask. We take over the project. Oliver, I need you to reach out to the company who is in charge of construction. We need a meeting tomorrow morning, right after training. I also need to meet with Alpha Lucas to get a couple of things approved. If we can get everything finalized, it should take a month if we all help with labor to get framing and walls up. I know everyone I talk to is completely over this project and are all hands on deck to be done with the Cunningham's BES. They have been hateful and rude, blaming problems on workmanship and incompetence. They have burned bridges thinking they can because they have the alpha in their pocket. You didn't say how you were going to keep the Cunninghams in the dark about this. I say. This is where you and I come in. Lil claps her hands. He already is banned from the construction site, but has regular contact with the contractors. I have talked to the current contractors, and they are going to basically move all communication to email, so we can have control over it without him knowing. That will cover that side of it. We will give him the plans and move forward. He will get what he is supposed to. We won't lie to or deceive him, but we will just word everything in a way to keep him placated. So how do we keep him from checking the site? We are scrutinizing all of the school's safety protocols as the Alpha King's first line of security. They, most likely, already know about the plans to move non-warrior pack members. But until we actually start the move, the safety of the pups is our. She points between herself and me. Main priority and assignment from the Alpha King. Alpha Lucas has already sent him instructions to do as we say, which means he's going to be on our asses. We need to get really specific and have daily early morning meetings with him. And of course, since it has to do with taking care of the pack's safety, the future Luna should be involved. Lil rolls her eyes. I have already sent them both emails. We are starting right after training first thing tomorrow. That keeps us out of helping to build, though. I exclaim. I really don't want to deal with Kaylee for a month, even if Lil is there to be my backup. But you have such willing and strapping young men to do your bidding. Lil winks. It's perfect. Kaylee is going to be so focused on you that she won't pay attention to what is going on around her. She's also going to see this as a benefit since she will see you nowhere near any of your guys all day every day for a month. And they can't claim you did anything wrong because you will be with them the whole time. I can't really argue any other points. We spent the rest of the day planning out our security detail for the school. Both plans were a go. We were able to get a hold of the contractors in charge of the Cunningham's house, and they agreed that the constant changes were unnecessary and would only come back if we could guarantee that Kevin would not be involved at all. Alpha Lucas agreed to Gina's terms and even offered to pay a bonus to the laborers if they could have it done before the new year. He seems to be more willing to go against Kevin recently, as opposed to just letting him have his way. I would love to ask him about it when we both have time. Following training the next morning, Lil and I had a meeting with Kevin and Kaylee, highlighting all of the necessary changes for the school, and several that were not required, but would take time and of course needs their input. Lil and I made a point to make fun over MindLink of the fact that Kaylee was allowed to skip classes for this, when Kevin tried to give me and my friends a hard time about setting good examples to younger students. The more that Lil stroked her ego, the more Kaylee pushed for the extensive changes to her father, wanting to use it as her Luna project for the pack. He couldn't say no to her. She was on board with everything that Lil suggested, and said I shouldn't f-eck anything up and make her look bad. We were able to fill the guys in on what we were up to over the MindLink daily. But we didn't see much of each other until a few weeks later when they needed help hauling lumber to the Cunningham's property overnight for an early start the next day. The whole crew was buzzing with excitement and anticipation of being done with this massive irritation. We were able to organize the entire site with all the tools and supplies, and the general contractor was confident that with this many people, the second floor framing would be completed, and the roof started by the end of the day tomorrow. All of the other contractors have just been working quickly around adding pipes, ductwork, and electrical as they can. It's been really impressive to see the camaraderie and teamwork. I know they are hoping to put the drywall up in the next couple days, then flooring, paint, and appliances. Kaylee did throw a fit about Lil and Gina moving up into my room and repeatedly made comments at dinner each night. Until last night, Luna Ava told her to deal with it, and she would run her pack house as she sees fit. And she doesn't even allow the future alphas to act the way that she has been since our arrival. And with the expectation of warriors coming to the pack for the impending war, we need to make preparations. One of those is making room in the pack house for those warriors to have a place to sleep and eat. When Luna Ava told her that is what a responsible Luna does, Kaylee went pale and didn't say anything the rest of the night. Alpha Lucas had a smile on his face the rest of the night. I also heard from Elena this morning. She said that the Coven was preparing to come and do a barrier spell around the Blue Crescent Pack borders, and she wanted me to be a part of it. She had instructions that would be coming with Nathaniel and Wyatt for my part in the spell. Alpha Reggie checked in with Alpha Lucas and I, saying they were ready for us to start moving any non-warriors to the Royal Pack grounds for safety. The plan is to move them in waves so no one suspects what we are doing, and we will be placing warriors in the homes on the outskirts of the pack, so it still looks like everyday life is going on. Wyatt and Nathaniel were fully immersed into finding gentry for Nicholas, but said that they could do that from anywhere, so they were planning on joining us in the next week, and they could help with our construction labor team. By Christmas, the Cunninghams' home was complete, and we even made time to pull all of their furniture from storage and place it all exactly as it was before the attack happened. Alpha Reggie proudly presented them with keys at a ceremony to celebrate pack unity and camaraderie, knowing full well Kevin Cunningham wasn't going to refuse in front of the whole pack, who of course was invited to this momentous event. We even made sure that all of the Packhouse Omegas carefully packed and moved everything out of the packhouse for them, so no strain was felt by the family most affected by the attack from almost 2 years ago. The air in the packhouse was light and giddy as we celebrated. Sierra was even able to join us, which was a loud and girl scream-filled reunion. Although I think the mistletoe got to her and Sam, and they disappeared early in the night. For the first time in a very long time, I felt happy and light. All of my friends are here and safe. All right, the plans for moving all the non-warriors are set and ready to go. Wyatt informs me from the desk in the office at the school. Just to piss off Kevin, he and Nathaniel have taken to joining us here and working, taking up more than just our office space. Every time he sees either of them, he goes on and on about non-involved people having too much access to the pack and the school, and being allowed to make decisions when they won't even be here long enough to deal with those decisions. It just made me laugh. He's a walking hypocrite, and Wyatt makes a point of informing anyone in our vicinity that we are fixing problems that should have been handled by people who live and work here, dealing with things. We are still working through the basic security systems in the school. That did take longer than expected. Kevin fought us on having cameras in locations like the office and the teacher's lounge, a place I found out is where many teachers have claimed they've been threatened, but there was never any proof. Wyatt, Lil, and I have been following instructions from Gina and Nathaniel on installing the new cameras, while they are busy in the office setting up the feeds. That also seems to be taking longer than it should for those two. But I keep those thoughts to myself. I don't know anything about computers and programming, and I have been spoiled with how fast they usually work on missions. About 2 weeks into setting up all the school cameras, Nathaniel started sending Wyatt and I out to areas surrounding the school with cameras and other equipment. No explanations, just instructions for very specific installation. Neither of us question what we are doing out loud. There are so many things going on right now. He may have additional assignments that we aren't privy to. I trust my team and their motivations, and that's all I have to work with. I did mention the excess cameras to Gina, just to see if she was aware of what Nathaniel was up to. There are too many things that don't add up, and so far everything leads or points to Kevin Cunningham. I don't have any concrete information, but that doesn't mean it's not there. Gina is determined to figure out how Kaylee's minions were able to grab me so often, and not once get caught on camera. She also wants to know how Kevin seems to be so well informed about things that he shouldn't have any knowledge. She has combed through everything and now has Nathaniel double-checking her work. I told them we have better things to focus on, and they appear to have stopped. But I really think they just do it when I'm not looking, and I can't say that I'm mad about it. It has been too cold to practice magic outside, so Oliver and I have been improvising. But he did force all the other guys to sit through my manipulation of the other elements, after they all saw and heard our retelling of the dirt incident, and then laughed at him for not being able to fight off something as simple as flying dust. We played with water at the indoor pool at the school. I was able to raise almost half the water in the pool, but when I went to move it, as one big mass, I ended up catching all of the guys in it and almost drowning them. I had to drop the water in the pool, causing a massive wave to release them. At the time, it was really scary, but the way that Gina and Lil tell it, it's hilarious because somehow standing behind me kept them safe from the torrent. A regular retelling, complete with arm movements, sound effects, and puffed-out cheeks, they would run around the bonfire, describing each of the guys' faces. That is one thing we do every weekend, no matter the weather or our schedules. We sit at the bonfire and exchange stories from the week and share a drink. Oliver and I were able to find a type of protection spell in the grimoire to put a small umbrella over the bonfire clearing when it would snow. It has allowed us to get out and just hang out as a group. A really large group with my team here. But still as a group of kids, no jobs, no responsibilities, no one asking us for anything. Just to sit and be. Oliver is actually really good at helping me decipher the seeming rambling of all the different writings in the book. He's been almost as invested as I am getting through all of the things that Elena assigned me. He is the reason I have been training the elements in the order that I have been. He seems to understand the magic and how it works, and he hasn't been wrong yet. Fire was the most intense. I was genuinely scared of hurting someone after the earth and water shenanigans. But Lil actually came up with a great idea, and had me light several candles, and focus on moving the flames from one candle to the next. Although, I knew her faith in my ability was small, since we also did this round of testing in the indoor pool area. I didn't burn anyone, but it was so stressful, I actually slept for a whole day after doing that casting. The guys each took turns staying with me while I slept, just working from my room. Air actually came the most natural to me. Now that we are at the end of winter and the weather is starting to break, I have been spending more time in the woods behind the pack house. Like being able to decipher different scents, moving the breeze, speeding it up, slowing it down was just as simple as breathing. But I apparently make faces when I cast, and that has been the most recent round of entertainment at our current bonfire. The twins update lets us know that Alpha Lucas, Alpha Reggie, Delta Kyle, Gamma Brett, my dad and a few other warriors are in charge of moving our pack members to the Royal Pack territory. It has been slow going since each of them is taking one small family at a time. As they do, a warrior from the compound would move in to keep up appearances at the border houses. Alpha Reggie decided that all non-warriors needed to be moved from any packs in a 500-mile radius of the rogue's last known position. We still don't know their motivation, but we don't want to take any chances. They haven't made any other attacks that we are aware of since our attempt to track them, but the warriors also haven't seen signs of them collected in large groups since then either. I can't believe how tough these rogues are to find and track. Gina says, well, they've been doing it for years, lots of time to practice. Especially if the motivation has been passed down a couple generations. I shrug, taking a drink of the whiskey Sam just handed me. Can it really be that simple, though? The Alpha King's uncle is pissed about his dad getting the position, because he was the oldest. That seems like a stupid grudge to hold on to for so long. Wyatt asks. It's no different than Kevin, grasping at any type of power he can get, because Sam's dad got the Delta title. I say,